Hi, good morning. So today I'm just talking to you guys directly about loving yourself, accepting yourself, forgiving yourself, being your biggest cheerleader because you're with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anybody who knows me knows that I love myself. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm the best. I am the best at everything I do. I feel like I'm the best wife on the planet. I feel like I'm a great sister, mom, whatever I do. I feel like I'm really, really good at it. And that's just how I am. But I realized the other day, I don't 100% believe that. So this might be a trigger. This is going to be story time. So if you have like childhood trauma or things like that, this might not be the video for you. Or if you're struggling with some things from your childhood or struggling with insecurities, low self-esteem, feeling inadequate, maybe this is exactly the video for you. So I feel very led to make it. So, anyways, the other day, Saturday, me and my husband, we always spend Saturday, Sunday, no matter what, together. We are together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't really do anything with anybody else. I go to yoga, I come home, I cook, I clean, we're together. We do that every single solitary Saturday, Sunday. So, Friday, for years, like 10 years, everybody knows that. Well, it's Friday, I had a party at my house, and Friday, I didn't have one problem with him at all, not anything. I went to work, I got off work, I cooked, I cleaned, I got ready for the party. He helped me clean up. Everything was perfect. Everything was great. We had no interactions, we had no words, nothing. Everything was perfectly fine. We had zero problems. Saturday, he was being all extra dry and sleepy and just like avoiding me. I knew something was wrong because you can always read the energy. Energy does not lie. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on with him, but okay, I let him have it. And then later on in the day, around 5, which is very late for us, I'm like, are we spending time together or what are we doing? And he's like, oh, well, I didn't know you want to spend time with me. And it's like, oh, come on now. You know for a fact that I want to spend time with you. There's no question that I want to spend time with you. We've done every single weekend for the last 10 years. Okay, come on. So I'm like, okay, so what's wrong? And he's like, nothing. And I'm like, okay, what is wrong? What happened? Did something happen? Did I do something? He's like, oh, well, you did what you always do, and I don't want to talk about it. I just don't want to spend any time with you today. I mean, just out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere. I'm very self aware. Okay. I know if I did something and I am very quick to apologize if I've done anything, but I can't apologize for what I don't know about. So I'm like, well, what is it? And this is going to be a longer video, so I apologize. But anyways, I'm like, dude, what did I do? He would not tell me, you know what you did. I'm like, did it have to do with the party? It had nothing to do with the party. Well, that's all I did yesterday. That's all I did. I came home. You were talking to roof guy. I let you do that. I went in the basement. I started cooking and cleaning. I took a shower. I started a party. We had zero interaction except for me telling you, thank you so much for helping me clean up. Other than that, that was it. Oh, you know what you did. You always do this, And he was just like, I'm tired, I'm tired. It really triggered me a lot because it's like, tired of what? I mean, like, it just really bothered me. It truly did. Well, anyway, I'll skip past a lot of this story because whatever. We were able to let it go by Sunday, and we had a good day Sunday. But Monday, I wanted to know what it was. What did I do? He refused to tell me. So I'm like, okay, so that I didn't do anything then, right? And he's like, no, you did. You always do it. I have to accept you as you are. It's just who you are and blah, blah, blah. I ask you not to do it. I shouldn't have to repeat myself. Just as a note, you're going to have to repeat yourself to people. People need to hear things sometimes 1,000 times for it to sink in. That's just life. Don't let your ego tell you shouldn't repeat anything. You've had things repeated to you. You're going to need to repeat things. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? Then, because for me, it's like, then you're going to build resentment. You're going to, you know what I mean? Like, hold this against me. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to know what it even is. So I have said, have it your way. The next conversation we have will be about this. I'm not going to talk to you until I figure out what this is because I'm a person. I like to resolve things. I like to know what's going on. I've given you enough time to digest it. It's been 2 days. So I left it at that. And so that's where we're at. I'm waiting on him to. But meantime, Monday, this is all Monday. Monday, I go upstairs. I do my meditation. Usually I sleep in the basement. I slept in our bedroom upstairs. It's a very supercharged bedroom, like with energy. Oh my God, like, woo, you can really meditate and get connected with your spirit guides in this room. I don't know why, it just is like that. So anyways, I'm like connecting with my spirit guides. And my guide is like telling me right off the bat, like, this is nothing to do with him. This is to do with you. And I'm thinking, okay, how's this to do with me? Like, how could that even be possible? And she's telling me, like, this is a projection. This is an insecurity of yours where you think that somebody is going to reject you for no reason. And you have this thought in the back of your head that he's going to do this, and that's why he's doing it, because it's your fear. Is something that you are holding, you need to let go of. And so I started really going through, and I have a lot of repressed childhood memories, like a lot. And I hate when people are like, we were poor and we had such a bad childhood, and I hear what they went through, and it's like, okay, that sounds like a dream come true to me, because we were poor, okay? And we had a terrible childhood. We made it good. We did the best as we could, but we had a terrible childhood, period and point blank. I forgot what my mother looked like, okay? She was in another state. I have a twin sister. My mom had a total of 5 kids. Since we were 2 years old, we were living in another state. I forgot what she looked like. I felt very rejected because she had her other kids, but she didn't have us. So it felt like, we couldn't get to her. This wasn't at a time where you had FaceTime and, you could contact you. You were just in another state. You had to wait on a letter to come if they wrote you. I felt very rejected, and I felt very forgot about. And as, a child, you just kind of expect naturally that your mother is going to be there for you and love you and care about you and everything else, but it may or may not be the case. And I don't know, I can't tell you what her feelings were. I just know that through my life cycle, she always chose her happiness. She always chose her boyfriend. She always chose her lifestyle or whatever it was she was doing over us. When she was home, she was never home. She was always working. I didn't realize until 2 years ago she was not working at all. She was partying. So I had no clue about that. I just, I was told, like, your mom's at work, your mom's at work, your mom's at work, your mom's at work. And it just made me feel very inadequate. Like, why is she not taking care of me? And so wherever we went, because we were from pillar to post, we were never in a stable home. At 2 years old, you have a home, you get moved to Texas from Michigan, your whole world changes. And then plus everybody who was in that house and in that reality is not at all in this house and in this reality. And then there's 2 new people, grandparents you don't even know, and all your whole family's in another state. You don't know when you're going to see them again. You don't know if you're ever going to go back. You don't know. Like, for me, I felt like they disappeared. I felt like these people didn't exist anymore. And I cried and I cried, and I just wanted to go home. Even though home was terrible, home was a place with like rats, roaches, no food, no heat, no water. And when I say no food, I mean no food, nothing. Okay, we were literally eating berries outside. I remember eating worms, dirt, grass. Yeah, nothing. Okay, so I'm like reviewing this. I'm like going over these memories that I had really suppressed a lot because they didn't serve me. And I know that they say with the law of attraction, you can't use the word not, but yes, you can. Because my whole life, all I could think is that my kids are not going to go through this. I am not going to have a man in my life who smokes and drinks and does drugs. And I did not. I grew up and I made a point. It was my intention that my kids will never go hungry. There'll never be any situations that we were in. They're never going to be they're never not going to live with me. And that's exactly what happened. My kids are always with me. They were always full. If I opened up my cabinet, there's food falling onto the floor. They never got in trouble for eating. We used to get in trouble for eating if we did have something to eat. And everything we had was from Focus Hope if we had it. It was crazy. I remember licking the pull-out cabinet thing to lick the salt packets, soy sauce, ketchup that was spilled. We had nothing. We were starving, literally. And then, our father, God bless his heart, was just a complete asshole. And is, to this day. He's a person I can't have anything to do with. Nothing was ever good enough for him. He had a stable home and a stable job, but he was in the drug world too at the beginning. And so because they were so unstable, we had to go here, there. And then whenever we were with him, it was just 24 hours of punishment. You had to write, you had to read, you had to, you couldn't have any fun. wherever we were, we couldn't make any noise. So I had to learn how to basically be invisible. Okay, we lived with our auntie. She worked midnight. You had to be quiet all day. You couldn't have any company in the house. You had to tiptoe around. There was no food. They had locks on the refrigerator. If they did have food, you damn sure weren't getting it. So it's like, it's like, where do we fit? I felt like we were always misplaced. I felt like we were always the outliers on everything. There was never a time where it was like, oh, we had 5 siblings. We never, only one summer did we all live together. We were always somewhere else. We lived with our mom's boyfriend, who was married, by the way, his mother. We lived with our mom's ex-boyfriend. We lived with our cousin, who was just a couple years older than us. She wasn't like the adult in the house, but she took care of us. It was the last thing she wanted to do. She literally beat us every single day. Whether we did anything or not. And I just remember thinking, like, why do I deserve to be beat? Like, what? It's like, well, you did something I didn't see, so I'm going to beat you. And line us all up and just beat us all, lock us in the basement, lock us outside. Like, it was just awful, okay? It was at the absolute, like, I remember hitting myself, beating myself, because I used to just want to get it over with. Like, forget it, I'll just do it to myself. And it really made me like hate myself. It made me be so insecure. Like, I felt like I didn't deserve to be alive. Like, I was just such an inconvenience for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, I'm watching you as it is. Your mother, of course, has disappeared. They're not telling me she disappeared. They're telling me she's at work. And it's like, is she coming back? And if she did come back, she'd be pretty high. God bless her soul, but she would be, and we didn't know. And she would just go in her room and keep getting high, and then she'd leave and you wouldn't see her again for days. That's just how it went. She left us when she was watching us. She left us, I'll never forget, we were 8 years old. She left us for days with our little sister, and it was like our birthday. She finally came back like the day after, and it was just a whole thing. So she just was very, very irresponsible, and she was very she was not emotionally available either. So she would say, like, I would be like, I love you. When I would see her, I would just try to hold on to her, because it's like, oh, she's here. I got to hold on to her just in case. And I love you. I'll make sure she knew. And she would tell me, you say it too much. It's too much. I don't like that. And so she would just say ditto, or she would say, you are loved. And so she didn't like to say, I love you. So I'm like, okay, I'm loved by who? Who is this that's loving me? I mean, is there somebody I don't know about? Somebody I'm going to meet? Like, who is actually loving me? And my father, I don't think he's capable of loving even himself. So I don't know. If he ever did tell me he loved me, I didn't believe it. And if I ever told him I loved him, I didn't mean it. I don't love him. I just don't. He's an awful person. He literally beat the hell out of me one day just for wearing a jacket. I mean, anything was a problem with him. I drank a cup of tea. He beat me for that. Everything was a problem. Everything resulted in a beating. We were taking a bath. We were sitting down. Our mom taught us to sit down in the bathtub. He beat us in the bathtub with an extension cord while we're 2 and 3 years old, because we're sitting down in the tub. I mean, it was just crazy, So these are a lot of thoughts and things like that. I said all that to say that was the reason why I had this insecurity, this feeling that I'm not worthy of love, or I'm going to be rejected for no reason, because I didn't do anything to deserve those things. That's the life that I was born into. That's just how it was. And it was like to hear him tell me, well, you did something, you know what you did, you always do it, and I'm just tired and I just need a break. And it just really triggered, like, okay, insecurities that I have, and it's a projection. This is me looking for that validation from somebody else to tell me you're not worthy, So it's like, here you're hearing it because that's what you believe about yourself. And I definitely believe I'm worthy, but I'm saying there's a part of me, there's still that old energy that's still there that says, people who should love you, like your mom, your dad, don't. And I don't know if they did or not. I have no idea. I mean, my mom was a very, very sweet woman. She was very sweet. She was fun, but she was like that party mom. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that was her life, was parties and drinking, and not necessarily drinking, drugs. So, and then my dad was just mean and angry, just complete asshole to the top to this day. And actually, nothing was ever good enough. He always, no matter if you had any kind of success, he just would find a way to criticize you. Like, I'm the manager at my job. He's like, oh my God, they made you the manager? Like, I got my degree, a very, very high degree. Oh my God, you got that degree. Anybody can get that degree. Like, no matter what I did is never good enough. I was always on the honor roll, and I had like B pluses, A minuses. He's like, oh, I'm not paying for B pluses and A minuses. Like, nothing was ever good enough for this man. And actually, I stopped talking to him 6 years ago because I was happy one day. It was my birthday. We all got together. I mean, and this is that for years of just constantly being belittled and put down and criticized. Me and my twin sister, I can't tell you, he just would criticize us for anything. My twin sister asked him how his sister was doing. He went off on her for an hour, had her trembling and shaking. How dare you ask me about her? I mean, just psycho. I mean, just, nothing you do, everything triggers this guy. So show up. I guess, let's say this is literally my hair. So let's say my hair was just a little out of place. Right, just literally, I'm rolled with the window down. It's like, it's my birthday. I'm having fun. I'm breaking everything I'm doing my weekend to go meet up with this jerk. And then we get there. We have a nice time, but he kept shutting down. Like, he wouldn't let me talk. He just a complete narcissist. Anytime I was trying to talk about something, he would just like, you're the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem. With anything, if I had a bad assistant, you're the problem. You don't know what you're doing. I can't believe they made you the manager. Later, the next day, he called me and let me know, yeah, you must be on drugs, because that's the only way he knows how to be happy or have any kind of fun. You must be on drugs, because, you come in, you're all, smiling and happy, and, I don't know what you're on. I don't know what you're taking. Your hair is all over your head. You embarrass me. I won't be going back out with you. Like, I'm an embarrassment for this man. Are you kidding me? And I mean, like, I'm so used to taking his insults to the chin that I was like, oh, okay. I'm like trying to figure out what I need to do, how I can change. Like, what, I'm like, what do like, you need to get with a professional, I'm like, I'm not doing any drugs. He's like, yeah, you need to get with a professional. Like, cause whatever he says is just a law. And then after that, I just decided I just needed a break from the toxicity. I just needed a couple days to digest. I just don't feel like being criticized all the time. Every time I see you is a problem. Everything's a problem with this guy. And so maybe he texts me, like, let's say that was Monday. He texts me Thursday. I didn't respond because I still was just not ready to respond. And then on Friday, he texted both of us because we were package deal, and he went off, made himself the victim. You guys don't even care about me, blah, 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 blah. To have a good life, take care of yourselves. I'm like, yes, oh my God, perfect, okay? And I haven't talked to him from that day to this one. But at the end of the day, what my spirit guide was telling me was, it's not about, I don't need to look for outside validation from anybody. Everything that I need is in me. I have to love me. I have to value me. I have to, literally accept myself, good, bad, or different, however, whatever shortcomings I have, I'm supposed to have. Wherever I've been, I was supposed to be at, all that stuff I just told you. I mean, I have some sunny stuff, but I just wanted to give you the gist of why I was having such a hard time. I remember when I was like 16, 17 years old, I started believing in me. I started building myself up. I started loving me because I just truly felt like nobody else did. I had my twin sister. I know she loved me, but outside of her, I felt like nobody else did. I didn't feel loved. I really didn't. I just felt like rejected my whole life. And so it's just all about accepting yourself. I do mirror work. I have a mirror right here. And, talking to myself, loving myself, accepting myself. I'm going to be doing like a 30-day challenge every night. Is self-love. And when people would give me compliments, I would always think it wasn't true. They were just saying it. It's like, no. And my guide is teaching me, like, no, accept what people are saying to you. Yesterday at my yoga class, my teacher, I was in this crazy pose, and she came and helped me. She's like, God, you're strong. And I'm thinking, I'm not strong. I mean, I feel like I'm so weak. But my guide is like, no, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Take the compliment. And so I say, you know what? I am strong. And I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm very strong. I've been through so many things that people would never even dream about going through. And I'm very resilient. I started feeling extremely good about myself. Being able to accept compliments and not need them, and complimenting yourself, loving yourself enough to have boundaries and limits is a big part of it as well. Being faithful and being consistent, forgiving yourself right away. You're going to have shortcomings. We're not here to be perfect. We're here to learn. We're all going through our journey and our process. So we're here to learn. So it's like, okay, you know what? I learned from that situation. And just adoring yourself. I really do love myself, but I have to love every part of me. I have to love my, the parts of me that I felt like I should have been loved by those people, and like, it's okay. I got everything that I needed. I got it because it went the way it went. So obviously that was the way it was supposed to go. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share this story. It's all about self-love, self-acceptance, self-validation. Don't look for it from anybody except for yourself. If you need to do the work, if you need to self-soothe, self-heal, self-parent, you know, there are tons and tons of videos on YouTube about it. I'm gonna make a video for myself using my own voice. I highly recommend that you do the same thing, telling yourself, I am love, I am loved, I'm loved by me, I'm loved by everybody. I come from source, you know, I came here to be loved and to love other people. And I accept myself. I'm gonna literally get that down into my spirit. So that was it, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I felt very led to do it. Bye. Love ya.